Just paint your face the shadows smile, my children. They especially smile when the truly horrible gets what's coming to them 100-fold. And thus is the case with the crow, Pestilence. Salvador is a young boxer in Mexico who wants to escape his life with his wife and child to America, especially since he owes money to the SDC, the Saint Death Cult, a group of human traffickers and drug dealers responsible for many, many shady dealings. And the latest is that Salvador agreed to take a fall on his match in the 3rd round. Only he does not comply, and the SDC are less than pleased by this development. Getting to him before his family can escape, they string him up on a cross and force him to watch as they torture, mutilate, and dismember his family before finally killing him. Still, in his final moments, he swears to return and right the wrongs forced upon him 100 times worse. Not sure how you make it worse than cutting them up with a chainsaw, but I am eager to see his creativity in action. Upon returning to life as the Crow, he goes after the men in charge of the SDC, starting with a man named Raw Dog, rescuing a woman he was about to torture. Raw Dog says he'll be killed for this. Salvador says you can't threaten a corpse. He's right. I've tried, my children. Corpses play by their own rules. While Salvador takes a train to America to continue the hunt, we learn that there is an undercover agent trying to bring down the SDC. They want to pull him out because of the risk to his life. He refuses, though, because of all the sacrifices he made in order to get into the organization. Salvador goes after Mange Hound next, chasing after some of his goons and suffering boiling hot water that quickly heals. Even keeps the makeup intact. That's hard to do. He soon gets to Mange Hound, freeing the trafficked women while slaughtering his men, eventually dragging him to an old stump out back and chopping him into pieces. However, once he reaches his next target, Flesh Dog, things get complicated. The SDC is not a death cult in name only. They worship an actual being, Santa Muerte, who comes to aid her acolytes with a scythe. The Crow is injured in the fight, and Salvador taken prisoner to be brought to their leader, Warhound Lou. The undercover agent learns about Salvador, revealing that he is Salvador's brother, having taken this job to avenge his murder. But that is not the only twist visited upon the story, for Salvador's wife and son are alive! Yes, they pumped Salvador full of drugs and had 2 lookalikes murdered, the wife offering herself as a slave to save his life. Fat load of good that did, obviously. But fortunately, the family is reunited, the Crow leading the brother to help in the cause. Santa Muerte decides not to intervene, since it seems her initial help had a cost that has not been paid. Warhound Lou's soul, which Salvador is more than happy to deliver by slicing him in half. And thus vengeance is achieved and wrongs righted, even if they were not the initial ones that were thought done. So full disclosure, my children, this Crow comic is kind of weird. The dialogue is really bizarre. It flips between being overly formal from characters who are supposed to be hicks with sloppy speech and very flowery dramatic soliloquies out of nowhere. People will sometimes speak as if we're just joining a conversation in the middle of it, but what they were answering or what they were trying to say is just unclear. The writer, Frank Bill, is normally a novel writer, and this was his first comic project. I'm not usually a reviewer, my children. My purpose is to spotlight horror, show you the great stories of death and despair, but it's just something I felt I should point out. Still, even if the prose is a bit off, the actual story, as one has come to expect from the Crow, is as wonderful as ever.